Yo, what's going on, guys? In today's video, I wanted to talk a bit about the Wonderlands community, as well as the content creators in this community, as well as the brand new DLC Coiled Captors. And I think the only way to solve this problem is for people to submit support tickets about the new DLC. So I'm going to be teaching you guys how to do that in this video as well. So be sure to watch all the way through because I really do want to urge the community to actually submit their own feedback instead of relying on Gearbox listening to the content creators in the community. And, I'm going to talk about that a little bit more. Now, I scripted the intro to this video because I want to make sure I'm saying all of this correctly. And so let's go. And what I wrote was, I get it, we're all Borderlands fans, but sometimes some of us can sound too negative about the game, and some people just don't like negativity. I understand that my own last two videos about the game have come off as very negative as well. But I do want to say I posted a review of Tiny Tina's Wonderlands a couple weeks ago when it first came out, calling it an amazing game, having the best launch of all Borderlands titles, but etc. etc. But however, with the recent release of this DLC Coiled Captors, I truly feel that Gearbox is once again actually being intellectually dishonest. This was the shortest DLC they have ever released, and they tried to stretch it out. They tried to stretch out the little amount of content that is already within the DLC over a 4-week period, and I feel like they're actually trying to get one over on us, like, truthfully. Anyways, I just want to say that as a community, that you guys, the players, need to do something about this, which is why I'm going to teach you guys how to submit support tickets, because there are many simps for Gearbox who refuse to complain and will buy anything that they sell. I also have not seen some of the bigger members of the content creator team giving real feedback about the DLC. I noticed that a lot of them just haven't posted their opinions at all, except for Jolt's dude, who I actually think he posted his video in a very smart way, and we're actually going to watch a part of it in this one, and I have the utmost respect for him. But I think what we truly need is the damn truth and to stop sugarcoating things. Negative and positive do not mean good and bad. People need to stop falling into the duality mindset and nature of living. We need to address things for what they truly are, and we also need to do it in a respectful way. Do not post any hate. Do not flame people. Always respond in a dignified manner with facts and logic. Alrighty, so I wanted to make sure I said that correctly. Basically, in this video, I'm going to be addressing behavior that needs to change, which is pretty much the simping for Gearbox and Borderlands and just buying anything they feed us, because like a lot of people have said in my comment section, they keep putting out stuff like this because we keep buying everything they give us, and that's what I want to talk about. Also, I want to address some of the actual mechanics of the DLC and talk about how disappointing they were. And then we're going to go ahead. I have a bunch of tabs of community posts, as well as lots of comments from my video about the actual DLC itself yesterday that we're just going to go over and talk about. So the first thing I want to talk about is some of the simping. And there was this Reddit post that got posted yesterday, and it said, for all you negative Nancys out there about the DLC, shut up and quit the game. I don't know what it actually said because it got removed, but it said something along those lines, like genuinely. It said like, here, I can show you one of their responses where, then don't play it. And their whole response is, if you don't like something, then you can get out. Good old South Park reference, am I right? And then over on Twitter, Jolts tweeted, said, what do you guys think of the Coiled Captors DLC? And I said, we have to wait 3 weeks for all 4 levels. Yikes. And I posted a video about this as well. A member of the actual content creator team responded to me and said, the point of this is for it to have a slow burn sort of style so that you just don't ruin it all at once, blah, blah, blah. I don't know what they actually said because they ended up blocking me. And I'm not trying to start Twitter drama, but I'm just trying to point out that we as a community need to do something, because this is a content creator from the content creator team. I ended up ratioing them. My comment had 15 likes and theirs only had like 2. But anyways, now let's go ahead and show part of Jolt's video, talk about some of the mechanics of this DLC, and yeah, let's just go ahead and play the clip.
And then now we have the most exciting room here, so we don't have to mob anything. We have to wait 3 full minutes. So what we're going to do is use Buffmeister to jump across the lava. And then we're going to sit here for 3 minutes doing nothing, yeah. You could mob if you want to, but again, it doesn't even do anything. So I would say, in the meantime, how about we do some paint? Yeah, let's
So
maybe.
So at this point in the video, Jolts literally pulls out MS Paint and draws the little Sharky guy getting killed. And it's honestly a great video and a great commentary on this DLC. And like I said, I've always had the utmost respect for Jolts because he also has been very honest, even though he's on the content creator team as well. But he does it in a very shameful way. Is that the opposite of shameless? You know, I'm shameless. I come on here on YouTube and just like, you know, post my hate. But Jolts did this in a very dignified manner, and it was really smart of him. And yeah, and basically what I just want to say is like, you know, I don't think Gearbox even necessarily listens to the content creator team because I think some of the big accounts who didn't post their opinion at all very likely left very critical feedback on this DLC, yet it was still released in the manner and shape and form that it was. So now I'm going to teach you guys how to leave a support ticket because I don't think Gearbox is listening, and I think they're only going to listen to the community, and I think they're only going to listen when you guys tell them what you want with your wallets. So go ahead, request a refund if you want. Many people want to request refunds. It's not like I'm like trying to tell people to do this, but at the very least, please submit a support ticket on how disappointed you were with this DLC. Now, what you're going to do is you're going to go to support.2k.com. And you can also just go to Google and type in support 2K, and it's the very first link that shows up. You're going to go ahead over here and click Wonderlands, submit a request, Tiny Tina's Wonderlands, enter your email address, enter the subject, which my subject is going to be disappointed with the Coiled Captors DLC. Then you're going to go to the issue I'm having, DLC, and some of these options aren't right, so we're just going to click on missing content from Coiled Captors. In the description, you're going to say, I am disappointed with the DLC, and this is why. Now, I'm just going to let you guys know right now, write a respectful response. If you are disrespectful in this response in any way, it is very likely that they're just going to throw it out because, you know, if you cuss and swear, like, I would throw that out too, if I'm being honest with you. So please be respectful in this section. For the platform, you're going to click your platform. For me, it is Epic Games. Platform ID, put in my username. And then you don't have to enter any of this stuff down here. Operating system, shift email, shift support. And then you're going to go ahead and click submit. Now, like I said, I actually didn't address all the gameplay mechanics and stuff after we covered Jolt's video. And what I want to talk about is how in this DLC, the gameplay mechanics and the puzzles to get from room to room. Now, there is a thing with the puzzles where they're not real puzzles. You don't actually have to complete an actual puzzle. You know how you shoot the statue and it spins around and you have to get them, you know, all matching the correct symbol? Well, once it gets to that symbol, it actually physically locks, and if you shoot it again, it doesn't spin more. So it's not a puzzle, it's just something you have to shoot. On top of that, there is a whole room in this DLC where you simply have to wait 3 minutes to get to the next area and then click a couple levers. And this is coming from some very ambitious game designers and game developers. And like I said in yesterday's video, it's a shame I have to do this because if any of you watched the PAX show from yesterday, people like Matt Cox and people like Sam Winkler, who were Matt Cox is the creative director, I believe, and Sam Winkler is the story main. I'm sorry if I got some of those wrong, but they were bragging about their game devs and bragging about some of the stuff they come out with, and rightfully so. You know, these people create awesome content, awesome material. They brought us the Malawan takedown. They brought us the Guardian takedown, which were takedowns with actual mechanics, actual things you had to do. And then they bring us this DLC where the mechanic is to click 4 levels, shoot a puzzle that's not really a puzzle. You actually just have to shoot it, and then stand in an area and wait 3 full minutes. You know, talk about bloating out the content that's in this DLC. You have to actually stand around and wait 3 minutes to get to the next part of it. And it is honestly a little bit sad that I have to do this because these are from the same developers who have brought us great things. And yeah, I just wanted to point out some of those comparisons and differences. Now, let's go ahead and talk about some of the community responses as well as what some people think about this. This DLC is definitely not worth the money. I do understand some of their approach to releasing it in bits since they want to add new things to the weekly featured run. I don't think anyone will run it if they don't add stuff like this to it. However, the mistake was giving out the whole thing first, ruined the idea. It's like giving a dog a bone, then taking it away. The Borderlands games have gone to shit for a long while now, and I'm not saying that to be a dick. Any company that makes money equals no longer have to care if people just keep throwing money at them. And that's why I'm making this video as well, because I don't think this guy's being a dick. I think he's a Borderlands fan who has finally had enough. A lot of us have come from Borderlands 3. You know, I know some of you are new with Wonderlands. Anyways, Matt says, yeah, this is thin. So many design decisions and a patch that felt so pointed and showing that they learned from past mistakes. And then this. We're going through heavy inflation. People are having to be much more strategic with their money and are more in tune with the value of their dollars now more than ever. This is a pretty big and tone-deaf misstep. Honestly, I was so happy when I saw the patch notes today and thought it was a huge step forward and hinted at a better direction of travel than what we saw with BL3. Then I played the DLC and it was like running a dick punch. Would get my money back if I could. I hate how content creators can't truly speak their mind due to Gearbox loyalists coming after them. However, I do appreciate you speaking out on this topic. If we get something that is lackluster, we need to speak up, or this will set the norm for future DLC being minimum effort cash grabs. I was so excited to come home and try this out, but it seems like a huge cash grab and major disappointment from Gearbox. DLC has always been a strong point for every single Borderlands game. Most of the time, it's the most anticipated part of the games. To see Gearbox label this as a DLC and even charge for it is absolutely unacceptable. Even free events like the Halloween event in BL3 gave more and better content, and that's saying something. And I do think this is very true. The Halloween event in BL3 gave a much better repeatable loot, as well as the Cartels event. And the fact that they made those events free, while this DLC doesn't offer even a fraction of that, but it costs extra money on top of the main game, it definitely says something. Nah, man, keep the videos up. Gearbox needs to hear these things. They get loads of money at launch and then become stagnant. Buying the season pass for BL3 and not playing any of them because it was so bad made me realize once they got our money, they don't care and do whatever they want. Now, I don't think it's necessarily that simple, but there is some truth to this. And yeah, let's go ahead and just cover some Reddit posts that I saw. Is the DLC and pulling up all these Reddit posts will show that it's not just me being negative in my community agreeing with me. But here we go. Is the DLC glitched for me, or is there really only one dungeon? Like, it only says difficulty 1 and I've ran it 3 times. Is this really all the DLC is, or am I missing something? 200 upvotes. Today is so mixed. Amazing patch, one of the worst DLC Gearbox has ever dropped. 266 upvotes. I'm hearing there's 0 new enemies and that you can complete the new dungeon in around 10 minutes with no new areas. I had $15 in my account and tried purchasing this DLC and my card was declined. My Spotify subscription had renewed, bringing me down to 5. Spotify actually saved me from wasting my last $10 on this, and I am grateful. I have such mixed feelings. I woke up to read absolute stellar patch notes like, wow, they knocked it out of the park. But then I see the backlash, and I am stymied. Is this a cash grab? Is that all this is? It depresses me a lot. I know Gearbox is a company and they need to make profits, but this is so transparently scummy of them. I bought the DLC and I knew exactly what I was getting weeks ago. I'm sorry, but did anyone watch the same season pass trailer I watched? It was advertised as 4 new bosses, 1 new class, new guns, new cosmetics, and the new chambers and bosses and enemies to be added to the Chaos Chamber loops. This gave me exactly that. I'm sorry to others that feel ripped off, but also I got exactly what I expected. I mean, if the next 3 boss levels from this DLC pack don't do anything to my Chaos loops, I'll be disappointed, but that's it. And you can see that this is actually a positive DLC post. And I did want to add this in there because it's not that it's all negative. But the very first comment has more upvotes than the thread itself, and it says, I knew the type of content I was getting into, but I didn't realize just how little content would be in that. This is a 10-minute venture at best, at most an hour with the 4 difficulty options in it, which weren't even finished, at least when I did it, and I assume this may be because it was supposed to be time gated. The final version of Chums had no animations for his last attack and just hovered using Seawarg idols. But besides that, I hoped for more than a worse Chaos Chamber that instead repeats the same exact format, an exact same zone each run with worse loot. Hot take, I like the DLC, however, now, this guy's post was actually funny. Chami, if you watch my video, like, you're cringe, but this was a good post, and it made me laugh. And I'm not gonna read it, but this guy makes a very good point, in that the wheel that you spin after completing the DLC just spits out one piece of loot at a time. And it's hilarious because the Chaos Chamber bunnies at least spit out 4 to 5 pieces of loot per click, and they also generally give you a legendary. And I don't understand, because I think this is a good point, that the wheel that you spin at the end of the DLC is very lackluster. Personally, I don't think I got a new piece of gear from that wheel at all. I got all my new gear from farming the shark. And Chami, you're funny, dude. No wonder your post got no upvotes, because what is this post? But you're a funny guy, and I appreciate you. I like your humor. Okay, I'm being mean to you, but it's in a friendly way. It's like, you know, punching you in the balls as your best friend. Anyways, 308 upvotes. Anyone having regrets getting the season pass? I got the Chaotic Grade Edition, as I always found that the Borderlands DLCs were amazing and added so much, but with this first DLC being one dungeon against one boss, it has made me regretful since that's one of the DLCs used up. To me, it feels like free DLC. It adds nothing to the game. 308 upvotes. Is anyone else confused as to why we just paid money for a DLC that's just a reskin of the Chaos Chamber? 75 upvotes. Shameful, Gearbox. And I agree, absolutely shameful. Shameless is the correct term there. Shameless putting stuff out like this. This DLC is not worth the $10. It's Chaos version 1.001. This is pretty shameful, Gearbox. We appreciate all the bug fixes, but to call this a DLC is pretty bad. It literally took longer to find the zone than it did to complete it. No story either. Just another set of rooms with a boss at the end. I'm pretty sad over this. I hope this isn't a sign of what's in the next DLCs. I'm sorry I bought the season pass now. And yeah, that is pretty much all of, you know, some of the stuff from the community we're going to go over. There's also this missing name shark. Like, is this actually his name, or is this just another bug inside of the DLC? And like, I'm sorry guys, like, you know, I don't like being the bearer of bad news. I said that in the last video, but you know, after I had time to sleep on it, think about it a bit more, as well as read a lot of the community's feedback, like, I do truly feel this was intellectually dishonest on Gearbox's part. I do feel it was a cash grab, and I am not happy with what they gave us, and I heavily urge you all to submit your feedback via 2K support, and just let them know your true thoughts, and please vote with your dollars, because I feel as if Gearbox is either not listening to our criticism, but they're also probably not listening to a lot of the content creators on the creator team, and I left the creator team a long time ago based on how they treated BL3, and they also announced that they're creating a new Tales of the Borderlands built in-home in the Gearbox studio. And, you know, with Borderlands 3, I feel like they stopped working on it for Wonderlands, and I am getting scared that they're going to stop Wonderlands to work on Tales of the Borderlands now. And I do not want to repeat the same cycles we are in, because I like this game. You know, I really want this game to do well. I would love to just post new DLC item videos, new builds, and stuff like that. I don't want to post these videos, you know? I really don't. But, yeah, so that's going to be it from me. I'll see you guys in the next one. Be sure to like and subscribe. I'm out.